Hey everyone, so the new All Out War event is here. It's basically the same as the Subjugation event, same boss. We have the YUKI USAGI, which is, I think, Snow Rabbit is what it translates to. But obviously, All Out War events are based on the ticket system. We get tickets every day. We get 5 entries. You also have the practice stage that you can do, as well as some daily missions as well. The daily missions consisting of, it looks like, skip tickets for 3 runs, 1 normal ticket for 2 runs, and then the currency for the exchange shop for 1 run. We also have a login bonus. I think this is new for All Out War events. I don't know if it's going to continue. I think it's this one. No, it's around here somewhere. Oh, here it is, I think. Yeah, so we have this login bonus for 50 tokens in general. It's going to be a total, I think I said 350 earlier when I was counting. Yeah, 350. Odd number. I don't know why they gave us a login bonus for that, but I mean, I guess it's cool. It's whatever. But looking at the actual event, again, it's the same boss more or less as the Subjugation event one. A very powerful boss. He gives himself Rampage at certain points. He gives himself a lot of buffs, so you definitely want some buff removers. So I went ahead and just did it with this team. I went ahead, obviously, whatever mono team you have, if you have like a full mono team, it's very highly recommended to use those teams because they're probably like the best teams in the game. So obviously those are going to be like your top tier units. Mine is just so happens to be yellow, as well as the support Anastasia. This Anastasia is still one of the best supports in the game. I rock her on literally everything, as well as the swimsuit ram. The swimsuit ram allows you to deal 50% more damage while critting, so that's always very good. I have obviously my ram here because she's gold. She's just one of my best DPSs, as well as this Rhine. This Rhine actually has the cooldown memory or the support memory, so that's pretty helpful as well. I then obviously have Mimi because the boss is green, so you want to bring your red units at the very least, but I kind of just brought 1. It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. The leader skills are going to be attack memory or attack for Rhine, and then the red attack for Mimi. I don't know if I want to switch this out. Maybe I have like a better lead or something. I think Shion might be general attack, so putting Shion here might be better. But I just put this team, so it's whatever. And then obviously you want to use the new... Oh, I didn't even have to refresh. Nice. You want to use the new Amelia. The new Amelia is really good for this because she can reflect. So the way the reflect works, I'm still not completely sure on it, but you can take partial damage. So the reflect actually reduces the damage you're taking. I don't know by what percentage. I don't know if it's also by the 80% of the damage you deal back. I don't know if it's also 80% damage or less damage taken. So I don't know about that, but you do take less damage. So that's pretty interesting. And then she can also apply it to any of the other red units. So my Mimi gets like 1 turn of it, but it is what it is. I still don't know how it works as well because it can stack, but it's not for turns. It's like the more, I guess, like the more reflect you have, the more damage you deal back. But like, is it like if you have 4 stacks, is it like 4 times 80, or is it just like 80 being the max? Like I don't really understand it as well. So either way, she's just really good to have on the team. I've seen a lot of people use the swimsuit Betty. She's pretty good to have as a pickup unit as well. A lot of anything that can be ran probably like a PvP mono red is probably like a good choice for a friend unit. I just went ahead and put Maid Petra because she's a bonus unit, and what you really need to worry about is the first clear. The first clear, you obviously have to use a really good unit. Then the rest of the clears I just use with skip tickets. So unfortunately I didn't really get to take too much advantage of it because I went ahead and did all 40 of the missions, all 40 of the clear missions yesterday. I just sped ran them because you can actually do all of the missions on the practice stage. The practice stage, unfortunately, you cannot skip ticket it, so I have to do it manually, or you know, quote unquote manually, because All Out War events are on automatically. But I did have to do it 1 by 1, which is pretty annoying. But as you can see, we're gonna just go ahead and skip ticket now. We want to use, this is basically the team I use, but when you skip ticket, I obviously switch out units for the bonus units. So the bonus units are going to be this Red Owl, as well as, again, the Maid Petra, which is down here because I haven't leveled her up at all. But yeah, you want both of them on your team for sure. I'm just gonna go ahead and do like one actual run, just so you guys can see like the boss and the actual like fight in action, and then we're just gonna go ahead and skip ticket the rest of them, and then I'll showcase that the exchange shop as well as me clearing the missions again already on the practice stage, so it wasn't that big of a deal. The red collapses, that's always nice because of Leah. Evan, as you can see, she's stacking her reflect buff, so sometimes she can deal a lot of damage with reflect. It's just sometimes with this team in particular, she's always on the rotation where she gets hit with the USAGI when it has all of the buffs, so she ends up dying. And even if you die, you can still deal damage. It's just the fact that he has all the buffs to where the damage doesn't really matter because his defense is so high. So I think defense does count into when you do that reflect damage. So just be aware that they actually have to have like lower defense and stuff like that. This was actually a fairly quick run. As you can see, she killed, and then she also does damage, but she didn't really have too many stacks. I think she was on one stack there, so she barely did any damage back. But yeah, you can do that damage back whenever necessary. And then obviously she died, so that's pretty unfortunate, so we only get A, but I've gotten S times, or S a decent amount of times. Then we get the rewards and stuff, and then now what I would normally do is just go ahead and switch out the units because we cleared it once. Theoretically, you would clear, like on your first attempt, all of the auto skip missions, which I would assume would be clear the stage without any deaths, and then clear the stage with a certain amount of time left. Most of the time, the certain amount of time, especially with this boss, is going to be pretty easy because it's a relatively quick boss. It's not very tanky. The whole point is kind of like a glass cannon. So we're going to be searching here for just any bonus unit. It doesn't have to be any good unit. Here's fine. So this is why you would want to put a bonus unit as a friend if you don't have any good actual supports. And then you kind of just skip ticket. And it only work on the one stage. You do have to find friends multiple times, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. You find that friend, go ahead and give them a like, and you just do it all over again. Then obviously with the medals, you go over here to the shop. This time around we have some of the stuff I already bought already, so we're just going to clear that really quick. It does get pretty laggy. So we got 1,000 gems in the shop, so that's pretty nice. Again, all out war events are supposed to be for hammers. Like these are the hammer events, and the subjugation events are supposed to be for gems. But lately the subjugation events have been super trash, and all out war events have been super good. So maybe, hopefully, we can start getting more gems here. And maybe more gems just in other places. I feel like they thought they were too generous with subjugation events in the beginning, and they just weren't. They were just really good, and they just kept nerfing them over and over again, which is really annoying. We have bonus units now for all out war. It was never like that. Now we had a couple times we had one bonus unit. Now we have two bonus units as well as the featuring unit, or like the banner unit. So that's pretty insane. I think that's a really good thing, but like they don't need to keep nerfing subjugation event while they're buffing this one, so it is what it is. You have some elixir here. I think it's like 4 or 5. Then you have some of the general pool fragments, the standard Tivi, Priscilla, Anastasia. I wish they'd change it up, but it is what it is. Then we have obviously the red hammers, which you need to probably clear out. You get the blue hammers from missions once again, so I was right about blue hammers replacing red hammers in the missions, but they did double up like the rewards here, so you're not really losing out on those red hammers from the missions that were previously there, so that's very good. Then we have the rainbow hammers, which you probably want to max out as well, but I don't know how to the extent of like how much currency we get. I usually stop around like the red hammers. I don't think we'll be able to buy a lot of the rainbow hammers. That's saying like if you don't purchase any of the tickets, you can't always purchase tickets here. You don't need to. I think you clear out enough of the shop, free to play, especially clearing all the missions. Like I'll go ahead and show you. I cleared all the missions at a time. The only mission that is still here is this one. I actually don't know what this is. I was going to translate it last night while I was doing missions, but I forgot to. Let me see if I can do it right now. I think okay, so it looks like you need only 5 physical units. That's the mission. You need to clear the USAGI with 5 physical units. I don't know if it says a specific stage. It is having other numbers besides the 5, so I would assume it's just like in general, but like it's only an elixir. It's 1 elixir. You really don't need it. It's not that big of a deal. And then obviously the dailies, you get the tokens, the coins, whatever you want to call them, the ticket, as well as the skip ticket, which is right here. So that's pretty nice. That's gonna do it for the event. Nothing too crazy. I don't think it's one of the harder. All Out Wars are kind of like a joke now, and they're very. I think they're just really good events. They are a little easier, which is kind of a little sad, but I think that like the rewards are pretty solid. Them doubling up the hammers, us not losing any value because they added new hammers in. I think that's really good. Them giving more bonus units, that's really nice as well. And yeah, so that's gonna do it for the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.